Good evening. Wait. Calm down. Relax. Relax. I'm not here to hurt you. Everything's going to be fine. Okay? Let me just explain. And once I'm done explaining, then you can let me know how you want to proceed. Okay? I just need you to relax. I'm not here to hurt you. I promise. Okay? All right. Just relax. So, I'm here because I was sent to recruit you, to offer you a golden opportunity that I don't think you would want to refuse. Well, are you familiar with the Bureau of the Occult? You are. Have they tried to recruit you in the past? They have. Okay. Well, we're not them. Yeah, that's not us. Um, we do belong to the same organization. Are you familiar with the Order of the Black Door? Vaguely? Well, the Order has existed since the beginning of human beings. It's existed since before then. Um, and there's a few divisions that are a lot newer, and a few divisions that have existed since the Order began. Well, our division, we're one of those divisions that have existed since the Order began. And what we do is we handle a lot of the really intense assignments. Anything from A to about S rank is assignments that we handle. Now, our job, like the Kingsmen, is to keep a lot of the hostile um, interdimensional creatures from crossing over into our world. Whereas the Kingsmen focus more on keeping all of those activities out of the public's eyes, we focus on making sure those creatures don't ever see this plane. So we're often deployed into different realities to take on said threats that may decide to cross into our world or are posing a threat into crossing over into our universe. Usually, these creatures are a lot more hostile. Um, they're a lot more. Uh, it's a lot more aggression. There is not really much reasoning with these creatures. They only understand um, just to consume. Now, if you get one of the intelligent ones, now those are the problem. Like, for instance, an S rank deity would be the King in Yellow, if you're familiar with that deity, um, or Lethotep, if you're familiar with Lethotep. That's those are A rank assignment. No, those are S rank assignments. A rank, my bad. Those are S rank assignments, and we are sent to handle those things. Right now, we're currently pursuing the King in Yellow, and um, I fought a couple of his clones, and his clones are enough. We haven't quite got to him yet, but those clones are something else. Usually, deities with an S rank sort of assignment, they usually carry different um, versions of themselves, kind of like Hucruxes, if you are familiar with the Hucrux. And we have to take down those different versions to get to the real thing. But those separate versions aren't no joke. It's not like you're fighting like a dummy. These things, they're Not as powerful as the original, but they will give you a run for your money. But enough of that. We're recruiting you because you have, well, we believe that you have the spiritual pressure that would be able to handle those sorts of assignments, as well as the abilities that we can bestow upon you tonight, if you so choose. But if you don't want to accept this opportunity, then we'll leave you alone and we won't bother you again. But if the Kingsmen have been here a couple times, from what I've heard and from what you've told me, then they see what we see. And so, what we're going to do is I'm going to do a spiritual energy pressure sort of test where I kind of measure your spiritual pressure, your spiritual energy. I know that was a horrible way of explaining that, but basically, people in our division tend to have a spiritual pressure level of 65 and above. We don't tend to accept anyone lower than that because, again, we're dealing with some very strong deities. And the last time we were lenient was for a board member's son. He didn't make it 2 weeks, and we never did that again. So, and we won't. So if you are, and he was only like 64%. It was like 1 point off, and he didn't last 2 weeks. He's still alive, by the way. He couldn't do it. Thank God. We're never doing that again because that's a lot of training and stuff that has to happen that we wasted on this one individual who we knew wasn't gonna make the program, but we didn't want to. You don't want to piss your higher ups off, right? But anyways, I'm gonna do a quick spiritual pressure check to see how much spiritual energy your body contains, and then if it meets the standard, I will give you a choice to either you want to accept the abilities, the supernatural abilities that you're going to be given, or you can reject it and we can move on. But before we bestow upon you those new abilities, we want to heal any wounds you may be carrying because it can affect how those new abilities take shape, right? Now, before we do all this, I want to give you one more explanation on why we are very careful with who we choose for these assignments, and why another reason why we require a spiritual pressure of 65% and above. The abilities that I'm going to bestow upon you, if you aren't able to handle it, it will force your body to adapt to the abilities. Meaning your body will take a different shape, a different form, a different state. For instance, in Fantastic Four when you have the other three, they have their normal form, but you have the Thing, who has a completely different form and shape. It's like its body's made out of rock. Well, let's say you have a spiritual pressure of 35%, 45%, and we give you the abilities. Well, if your body is more prone to dark, air-based sort of abilities and elements, you might just become like a form of smoke. And that you'll still have consciousness, but you won't be able to turn back into a solid human. You'd just be like a cloud of smoke. Or let's say you're more into like more of like a fire ability. You'll be the Human Torch, but you can't go back to normal form. You'll just be a flame of a human being, and we don't want that. Again, we've done that before, didn't end well, we'll never do that again. So, enough of me talking. Let's get with the procedures, right? All right, so we'll check your pressure. I'll scan your body to see if you have enough pressure for us to proceed with the rest. And if you do, then we'll proceed. Okay? And I promise this will be completely painless. Completely painless. Um, some of our recruits have said that it's pretty relaxing, so hey, you might enjoy it. So all I need you to do is sit back, relax, and I'll handle everything else, okay? All right. Sorry about that. I just had to cut the air conditioner on because it was getting pretty hot in here. So, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to check your aura to see what we're working with here. And then after that, what I'll do is we're going to do a scan of your spiritual pressure, your spiritual energy to see how much you're carrying at the moment. Then, if you choose to proceed further, or if we are even able to proceed further, then we will do a quick cleanse, a healing, and what we call the bestowing of the gifts, meaning we're going to give you your abilities. All right, so I just need you to look forward for me, please. All right, ready? Good. And we're just going to look at your aura real quick just to see if there's anything that I'm going to have to cleanse and heal. And I see a few things, but so far so good. Nothing major. And that's what we want. We don't want anything too crazy. Because if so, that would be a whole nother session that we'd have to do. And I don't want to keep you too long this evening. All right. Cool. Solid. All right. No, these glasses don't have lenses. They're just for aesthetic purposes. People tend to like the look. It also presents a more friendly demeanor. Anyways, so far so good. What I'm going to do next is an energy scan to see what your pressure is looking like. Again, we're looking for anything above 65%. So all I need you to do is just relax, and I'll take care of the rest, okay? Alrighty. Okay. Alright, well, good news. The reading I got was 85%. That's actually really, really good. We don't tend to get 85%. It's usually between 67 to about 74. So 85 is pretty good. Mine, um, I prefer to keep that one to myself. Um, it's just, well, I will say the same for you because you have such a high level of spiritual pressure. You wouldn't want to let too many people know about that. So you have 85. Um, Mine would, again, I don't tend to tell people my level of spiritual pressure because it's not normal. But the good thing about that is that if you're not satisfied with your spiritual pressure level, there we have programs that can help boost it um, up to about 8-9%. Um, so you don't like the 85, you can boost it to like a 90 if you want. But it's a process. Just to give you a heads up, it is a process. But the higher the spiritual pressure, the longer you can withstand in the fight, the more incantations you can use, and the stronger the incantation you can use. Um, and also, if you know how to do any transformations, well, that's where the fun starts. But that's usually reserved for people with 80 and above spiritual pressures. Um, I'm trying to figure out how we shall proceed, actually. But I have to ask you, would you like to proceed further? I know this is a very, very tough decision, but I'll say this. When I started, I didn't have a lot of direction in my life. And I was looking for a purpose, something that I could be great at. And the order gave me this opportunity to not only to find hidden talents within myself, but also give me the confidence to pursue other things. Also, they pay me a lot of money, and they're gonna pay you a lot of money. I forgot to mention that. You're gonna be like filthy rich if you just decide to do this. Um, I'm not supposed to mention that because it's not supposed to be an incentive, but it needs to be an incentive. Um, and since you know you have 85%, I would take this deal. How much? Um, I don't think there's a number. It's just you have access to just unlimited funds. Now, these are some very, very, very wealthy individuals. They have things that humans haven't even seen before. They have valuables that humans can only dream of. Like, these are some very, this isn't, you're not going to be amongst normal individuals. You're going to be amongst, you'll see when you get there, if you so decide to go forward. So, do you choose to go forward? Perfect. I'd hope you say that. So, we have 10 minutes left. What we're going to do, just going to do a cleansing and a healing. And then, I'm going to give you your abilities. Ready? Perfect. Just relax. And just let the rain fall. The purpose of the rain is to cleanse your aura, cleanse your energy, cleanse your body, your mind, your spirit. Just feel the water wash away all of your pain, your suffering, darkness, and replenish your body, your mind, your spirit, your energy with healthy, more productive energy. And just relax. Good. Just a little longer. And stop. Perfect. All right. Now we will proceed with the bestowing of the gifts. It's my favorite part. Now, you're going to see some things, some unique patterns, I don't know. Everybody sees something different. But don't be alarmed, it's normal. And after you're done, you'll be a whole new being. And trust me, you're gonna love this. You ready? Alrighty. Just relax. Just relax. It'll be over soon. I know. It's a lot. Just relax. How do you feel? I bet. Well, since it's late, I'll let you sleep a bit. And tomorrow around noon, I'll be back. We'll pack your things. Class starts in a week. Yeah. You're gonna be training for about 6 months, and after that, you'll be on the field with us. Ready? All right. Have a good night. Take care. And I'll see you tomorrow.